Vincent following us.
Insert under the sea reference here. How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Frightened of the ocean? I mean, at least you're frightened of something. Fear of not knowing exactly what's going on, but I'll tell you one thing, this is something that really doesn't need to be feared. Did you see sci-fi-esque thriller, cross between Prometheus and Abyss, all rolled into one? Well, I'll take it with a grain of salt. I bet I wasn't the only one who ended up watching the trailer for this movie and thinking to himself, that's gonna end up at the bottom of the ocean. Case in point, Underwater. Directed by William Eubank, starring Kristen, Stewart, Vincent, Cassel, Jessica Henwick, John Gallagher Jr., and T.J. Miller. To do with an expedition drilled down into the Mariana Trench, apparently had uncovered something ungodly. And in terms of this movie, there are a lot of things that are definitely ungodly about it. But we might as well do the right thing here and kick it into the good. Cinematography is fantastic. You can tell that the director has really had a lot of experience with cinematography in the past. The way that the camera is able to pan across slowly, the different shots in terms of the actors, the location that it's actually set in, it makes you feel like you are underwater, making it feel like the pressure that you're under is what the characters are going through as well. Kristen Stewart, really good in this. It definitely paid off. The creature design is something that I've never seen before. It was an unnatural thing no one had encountered in the first place, and that's what made it so frightening. CGI was on point. It looked and felt like something fresh and new. The tense moments do pay off. There were a lot of moments where I was sitting in my chair, how are they going to get out of this? Moments where I was on the edge of my seat, freaking out about how they were going to get out of certain situations. Kept you invested to the very end and didn't feel like a bad movie. There were a few moments that were a little lackluster. Camera work. Bit too shaky at times. Felt like I was watching a handycam movie. The fact that it was set at the bottom of the ocean, there were moments that it was a little too dark, that I couldn't exactly make out different characters, where they were, what was going on. A lot of cheap jump scares. We're talking a whoosh. Silence happens, there's gonna be a jump scare. Rule number one in the fucking horror handbook. Now, is that a bad thing? No. It's usually what everyone sees whenever they're watching a movie that has any sort of thrills or scares. The only time where I actually did jump, no sudden music change. Got me because of the suddenness of it. There were certain scenes that felt like they were missing at times, where in the editing department they must have looked at something and said, I don't think we have enough money to be able to put this scene in. Oh, that's fine. We'll put a cut in and we'll make it look like something has just happened. But won't people get confused? No, they'll be able to follow it along. Audience isn't stupid, they know what's happening. I wasn't one of those people. There were moments where the camera would cut and it would go to a different scene and I thought, have we lost 10 minutes of footage here under the deep sea trenches? There was no backstory. Who were these people? Where did they come from? What year is it? The only way you knew that it was set in the Mariana Trench, I'm probably saying that wrong, they showed a brief little clip when they were going through all these classified documents at the start during the credits. If you had walked in missing that front credits bit, you wouldn't know where the hell you were. I didn't feel any sympathy. I didn't feel anything for the people on screen. You could literally replace any of the actors with anyone else, same result. Put in a bunch of actors and try to explain a story with a bunch of creepy things. Reveal at the end was so unbelievable that I almost burst out laughing. A really good way that they could have been able to show it. And then they jumped the shark. I don't understand how you can jump a shark underwater, but they managed to. The hardest thing to get through was T.J. Miller's jokes, the Danny McBride of the Alien Covenant world, adding into a scenario where we didn't really need to have jokes being put in. About halfway through was when I actually started to enjoy his little things, but then something happened, like it always does. But with all these problems, it didn't really ruin the experience for me. I went into it with very low expectations, and when I came out of it, I thought it was okay. Definitely wasn't a bad film by any stretch of the imagination. It's definitely something that you should at least check out once. But in terms of the way that it was executed, it was done poorly. Really great ideas. In terms of the way that the creatures were designed and the tension that was building. You can see a lot of references to Alien here. At the end of the day, if you enjoy it, then that's fine. There were a lot of moments that I really did appreciate. There were a lot of moments that I thought was a little bit lacking and a little bit unbelievable. It's still fun. It still has its moments. But at the same time, the execution was smothered under the sea. That's why Underwater gets... Now, I always like to end my reviews with a quote from the film, and my favorite quote is, "Better not be some 20,000 leagues under the sea shit, man." You'll know it when you see it. But that being said, did you see it? Will you see it? And if so, let me know in the comments. Until then, I've been DJ, and always remember, did you see it? Couldn't give this a 2. It just didn't feel right. This will absolutely develop a cult following. It has the potential to, and it's definitely been better than other thrillers that I've seen.